In the eastern heart of Zambia, nestled between the borders of Malawi and Mozambique, lies a realm of untamed wilderness, South Luangwa National Park. This magnificent sanctuary is a jewel set within the vast expanse of the Great Rift Valley, where the land stretches out in a tapestry of golden grasslands, dense woodlands, and winding river channels. Here, the Luangwa River carves its way through the landscape, its banks lined with ancient ebony and mahogany trees, their roots clutching the rich, dark soil. Spanning over 9,050 square kilometers, the park is a living mosaic of habitats, open savannas shimmering under the African sun, lush lagoons reflecting the sky, and thickets alive with the calls of hidden creatures. Herds of antelope graze in the open, their coats glowing in the morning light, while great gatherings of buffalo move like dark shadows across the plains. For decades, South Luangwa has been hailed as one of Africa's last great wildlife havens, a place where the continent's iconic animals roam with a freedom that has become increasingly rare. Elephants drift silently through the mopane forests, their massive forms dwarfed by towering trees, while giraffes move with slow, deliberate grace, their long necks weaving between acacia branches. Along the riverbanks, hippos wallow in the cool water, their eyes and nostrils just breaking the surface, while crocodiles bask on sandy shores, motionless and ancient. The air is thick with the calls of fish-eagles, their haunting cries echoing across the floodplains. The park's story is written in the rings of its ancient trees and the well-worn paths of migrating herds. Each season brings transformation. The dry months reveal cracked earth and shrinking pools, drawing animals together in a desperate dance for survival, while the rains awaken a lush green world teeming with new life. At dawn, the landscape is cloaked in mist, the rising sun painting the sky in hues of amber and rose. Baobabs stand like ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches reaching skyward, while the riverine forests pulse with the secret movements of leopards and bushbuck. What truly sets South Luangwa apart is the sheer abundance and diversity of its wildlife. Herds of zebra graze in the open, their stripes flickering in the dappled light, while kudu and waterbuck browse quietly in the thickets, ever watchful for lurking predators. In the golden grasslands, lions rest in the shade, their tawny coats blending with the earth. Cubs tumble and play, watched over by vigilant mothers, while the distant roar of a male echoes across the plains, a reminder of the wild power that rules here. In the cool shadows of the woodlands, leopards move with silent precision, their spotted coats dappled by sunlight filtering through the leaves. They climb ancient trees, draping themselves over branches as they survey their domain. Packs of wild dogs race across the open plains, their coordinated chase is a blur of speed and strategy, while hyenas skulk at the edges, ever opportunistic. The drama of survival unfolds daily. Zebra herds stampede from the river's edge as crocodiles launch sudden ambushes, and the chase between predator and prey sends dust swirling into the golden light. Yet the park's wonders are not only found in its giants. The undergrowth teems with life. Dung beetles rolling their precious cargo, butterflies flitting between wildflowers, and tiny frogs calling from hidden pools. Birds of every color dart through the trees, from iridescent bee-eaters to stately ground hornbills. Reptiles bask in the warmth, chameleons shifting colors among the branches, monitor lizards sprawled on sunlit rocks, and snakes gliding silently through the grass. The Luangwa River is the lifeblood of this wilderness, its waters drawing a dense congregation of life. Hippos jostle for space in the shallows, crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, and elephants, antelope, and birds gather in a vibrant, ever-changing spectacle. Herds of puku and impala leap through the tall grass, while flocks of storks and herons wade gracefully in the flooded plains, their reflections shimmering in the water. It is a place where lions still command vast territories, surveying their kingdom from termite mounds that rise like islands above the grass. Where leopards haunt the shadows of ancient trees, their presence felt even when unseen. and where herds of elephants march with timeless grace, their footsteps stirring the dust of centuries as they cross the river at sunrise. In a world where wild spaces are rapidly diminishing, South Luangwa stands as a powerful testament to the enduring beauty and importance of Africa's wilderness, a place where the pulse of life beats strong and the wild spirit of the continent endures, untamed and eternal. Over countless millennia, the landscape of South Luangwa has been meticulously shaped by the relentless forces of water and time, orchestrated by the immense geological drama of the Great Rift Valley. The valley was born from tectonic shifts, as the Earth's crust fractured and subsided, creating a vast depression that would become the stage for the Luangwa River's journey. Towering above the valley floor, the Muchinga Escarpment's rugged slopes descend sharply, channeling rainwater and sediments down into the fertile alluvial plains below. This dramatic topography, carved by ancient geological upheavals, has given rise to a patchwork of habitats, each shaped by the interplay of elevation, soil, and water. On the valley floor, sprawling mopane woodlands dominate, their butterfly-shaped leaves thriving in the mineral-rich soils deposited by centuries of river flooding. As the land rises, mopane gives way to miombo forests on the higher ground, where different soil types and moisture levels create new ecological niches, supporting a wider array of plant and animal life. Central to this transformation is the Luangwa River, a dynamic force that sculpts the land through its seasonal cycles of flood and drought. During the rainy season, the river swells into a powerful torrent, eroding its banks, carving new channels, and depositing fresh layers of silt across the floodplain. As the dry season advances, the river's flow diminishes, abandoning old meanders and leaving behind a chain of oxbow lakes, crescent-shaped lagoons that mark the river's ever-changing path. These lagoons, isolated from the main channel, trap fish and concentrate nutrients, becoming vital oases as water elsewhere disappears. The abundance of water and food draws vast congregations of wildlife, from herds of antelope to flocks of birds, all dependent on these shrinking pools. Crocodiles and hippos take advantage of the deep, permanent waters, while other species gather at the margins, creating intense scenes of interaction and competition. Thirsty herds of buffalo and other grazers are drawn to the lagoons, relying on these water sources for survival as the dry season intensifies. Elephants, too, gather in great numbers, their presence shaping the vegetation and the very structure of the landscape around these waterholes. The river's constant shifting, eroding here, depositing there, drives the perpetual renewal of habitats, ensuring a dynamic and ever-changing environment. Each flood season, the river lays down fresh silt, enriching the soil and fueling the growth of lush grasses and trees that sustain the valley's herbivores. New lagoons are born as the river abandons old channels, while others gradually fill with sediment and vegetation, evolving into grassy dambos. These dambos, once open water, become lush grasslands, providing seasonal grazing and further diversifying the landscape. This ongoing transformation prevents any single habitat from dominating, maintaining a vibrant mosaic that supports a remarkable diversity of life. The impermanence of the land, its constant flux, underpins the resilience and richness of the ecosystem. Soil, water, and topography interact in harmony, setting the stage for the unfolding drama of the wild. Deep alluvial soils nurture groves of sausage trees, their massive fruits providing sustenance during the harshest months. Winterthorn trees, too, flourish in these soils, their nutritious pods sustaining herbivores when other food is scarce. Sandy riverbanks, shaped by the river's ebb and flow, offer perfect nesting sites for southern carmine bee-eaters and other birds. Dense riverine forests, fed by groundwater and periodic floods, provide sanctuary for elusive predators and countless other species. Through the ceaseless work of water and time, South Luangwa has become a sanctuary of extraordinary beauty and ecological complexity, its landscape forever evolving, its life endlessly adapting. The climate of South Luangwa National Park is a tropical semi-arid one, defined by two starkly contrasting seasons that dictate the rhythm of life for every living thing. The year is split between a lush, green rainy season and a harsh, unforgiving dry season. The rainy season, or green season, typically begins in November and lasts until April. During these months, the heavens open up, delivering between 700 and 1,200 millimeters of rainfall. The parched landscape undergoes a miraculous transformation as dry riverbeds turn into raging torrents, and the brown, dusty plains are carpeted in a vibrant emerald green. This is a time of abundance, of birth, and of renewal. With the arrival of the rains, the park's wildlife disperses. The animals are no longer tethered to the main river and the few remaining waterholes. They spread out across the vast expanse of the park, taking advantage of the fresh grazing and browsing that is now available everywhere. This is the time when many species give birth to their young, as the abundance of food and water gives the newborns the best possible start in life. The air is filled with the sounds of new life, and the landscape is lush and full of vitality. However, the thick vegetation can make wildlife viewing more challenging, as the animals are hidden away in the dense bush. Then, from May to October, the pendulum swings, the rains cease, and the dry season takes hold. The sun beats down relentlessly, and the lush greenery withers and fades to shades of brown and gold. The smaller streams and seasonal waterholes evaporate, and the land grows hard and cracked. This is a time of scarcity and of struggle. As water becomes the most precious commodity, the wildlife is forced to congregate in ever-increasing numbers around the permanent water sources, the mighty Luangwa River and its remaining oxbow lagoons. This concentration of animals is what makes the dry season such a spectacular time for wildlife viewing. This seasonal cycle of feast and famine is the driving force behind the park's ecology. The dry season tests the resilience of every species. Predators find hunting easier as their prey is concentrated and more exposed in the sparse vegetation. Herbivores must travel greater distances between food and water, constantly on alert for danger. The Luangwa River becomes a lifeline, a stage where the daily struggle for survival is played out in its most raw and dramatic form. It is this powerful, cyclical rhythm of rain and sun that has shaped the behaviors, adaptations, and very existence of the wildlife in this incredible valley. South Luangwa is a sanctuary teeming with over 60 mammal species, each contributing to the vibrant web of life that defines this remarkable landscape. Here, some of Africa's most iconic and elusive animals roam freely, their lives shaped by the rhythms of the wild. Among the most celebrated inhabitants is the leopard, a master of stealth and solitude. South Luangwa is often called the Valley of the Leopard, thanks to the unusually high density of these secretive big cats. These solitary nocturnal hunters are experts at disappearing into the dappled light of the riverine forests, their spotted coats providing perfect camouflage as they stalk their prey. With night vision 7 times more powerful than a human's, leopards are perfectly adapted for hunting under the cover of darkness, moving silently through the shadows. Their strength is legendary. Leopards can haul prey much heavier than themselves high into the branches of mopane trees, keeping their hard-earned meals safe from other predators. Lions, too, are a vital part of this ecosystem. South Luangwa is a stronghold for these magnificent predators, whose presence shapes the balance of life in the valley. Lions live in complex social groups called prides. Lionesses coordinate their hunts with remarkable precision, working together to bring down prey, while the males defend the pride's territory with strength and vigilance. Despite challenges faced across the continent, here lions continue to thrive, their roars echoing across the plains as a symbol of wild Africa. Watching a pride of lions on the move at dawn, their golden coats glowing in the morning light, is a breathtaking sight, one that captures the essence of the wild. South Luangwa is also home to 2 unique subspecies found nowhere else on Earth, the Thornycroft's giraffe and the Cookson's wildebeest. The Thornycroft's giraffe is easily recognized by its distinct coat patterns, a living testament to the park's isolation and evolutionary history. These gentle giants move with quiet grace through the woodlands, browsing on leaves high above the ground, their long necks giving them access to food few others can reach. The Luangwa River is alive with one of Africa's largest populations of hippopotamus, their massive bodies submerged in the cool water by day. As dusk falls, these semi-aquatic giants emerge from the river to graze on the lush grasses of the floodplain, their nightly journeys shaping the landscape. Their deep grunts and bellows resonate across the water, a constant soundtrack to life along the riverbanks. The African elephant, the world's largest land animal, is another remarkable resident. These intelligent and emotional creatures travel in close-knit family groups, communicating with low rumbles and gentle touches. Elephants are true ecosystem engineers, shaping the environment by creating pathways through dense bush and dispersing seeds that help regenerate the forest. The endangered African wild dog also roams these lands. These highly social animals hunt in coordinated packs, relying on teamwork and communication to achieve a hunting success rate unmatched by any other predator in the park. Spotted hyenas, often misunderstood, are powerful hunters in their own right. Living in large, matriarchal clans, they use intelligence and cooperation to outwit their prey. The formidable Cape buffalo, known for its unpredictable nature, moves in large herds across the savanna, its presence commanding respect from all other animals. Each species, from the stealthy leopard to the mighty elephant, plays a vital role in the intricate tapestry of life that makes South Luangwa a true sanctuary of unique and majestic wildlife. Beyond its magnificent mammals, South Luangwa National Park is a sanctuary for an astonishing diversity of birdlife, with over 400 recorded species thriving in its varied landscapes. The skies and waterways teem with vibrant avian populations, from majestic raptors soaring above to colorful migratory visitors gathering at the water's edge. The African fish eagle reigns as the king of the river, its striking white head and powerful build making it unmistakable among the treetops. Its haunting, evocative cry echoes across the valley, one of the most iconic sounds of the African bush. With a wingspan reaching up to 2.4 meters, this eagle perches high above the river, scanning the waters for fish, which it snatches with breathtaking precision. The presence of the African fish eagle signals a healthy aquatic ecosystem, as it relies on abundant fish populations and clean waterways. The skies are also patrolled by a variety of other impressive eagles, each adapted to their own hunting styles and prey. The battler eagle is easily recognized by its acrobatic, tilting flight and its strikingly short tail, gliding effortlessly above the savanna. Its name, meaning acrobat in French, perfectly describes its aerial prowess as it maneuvers through the sky. Another formidable predator, the crowned eagle, is Africa's most powerful eagle relative to its prey size. Specializing in hunting monkeys and small antelopes, the crowned eagle plays a crucial role in regulating populations within the dense forest canopy. These raptors, along with many others, form an essential part of the park's complex food web, maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystem. One of the valley's most spectacular avian events is the arrival of the southern carmine bee-eaters. These stunning migratory birds arrive in their thousands towards the end of the dry season, filling the air with flashes of carmine and turquoise. Gathering to nest in large colonies, they dig 2-meter-deep tunnels into the sandy riverbanks, creating a dazzling spectacle. These bee-eaters are aerial acrobats, swooping and diving to catch insects on the wing, often following large animals or bushfires to feast on disturbed insects. Their arrival transforms the riverbanks into a riot of color and activity, heralding the coming of the rains. The park's many lagoons and waterholes attract a wealth of wading birds, each adapted to life at the water's edge. The lanky yellow-billed stork forages in groups, cleverly stirring the mud with one foot to disturb fish and insects, which it snaps up with its lightning-fast bill. The elegant African spoonbill sweeps its unique spoon-shaped bill through the shallow water, feeling for prey hidden beneath the surface. Hidden in the dense riverine forest, the trumpeter hornbill's loud, trumpet-like call resonates through the trees. The female seals herself inside a tree cavity to nest, relying on the male to deliver food through a narrow slit, ensuring the safety of both herself and her chicks. Each of these birds, with their unique behaviors and adaptations, contributes to the intricate tapestry of life in South Luangwa, shaping the ecosystem and adding to the valley's enduring wonder. The story of the Great Drought of 2023 to 2024 begins with the failure of the rains. In South Luangwa, where every living thing depends on the seasonal arrival of water, this absence set off a chain reaction of hardship and struggle. The root cause was a powerful El Niño event, a climatic force that warms the eastern Pacific Ocean and disrupts weather patterns far and wide. For southern Africa, this meant the rainy season never truly arrived, and the land was left parched and exposed. The life-giving downpours that should have revived the landscape simply never came, resulting in one of the most severe droughts in living memory. The effects were immediate and devastating as the ecosystem teetered on the edge of collapse. Vast stretches of land, including the heart of South Luangwa National Park, were gripped by relentless drought, with the park at the very center of the crisis. The Luangwa River, usually a lifeline even in the dry season, shrank to a mere shadow of its former self. Its tributaries and vital oxbow lagoons, essential refuges for wildlife, dried up completely, leaving only cracked mudflats and the remains of those who could not escape. The once lush, green landscape faded rapidly into a dusty, barren wasteland, months before the usual dry season peak. The ecological impact was profound, touching every corner of the park and every species within it. The collapse of the food chain began as both predators and prey struggled to survive. Without rain, grasses withered and died, leaving grazers like zebras, wildebeest and buffalo with nothing to eat. Trees, stressed by the drought, failed to produce leaves, flowers or fruit, depriving browsers such as giraffes and elephants of their food. The scarcity of prey rippled up the food chain, leaving predators hungry and desperate. Lions, leopards and wild dogs were forced to roam far and wide, often clashing over the few remaining meals. The drought brought a cascade of secondary crises: dried up pools, dying fish, and animals struggling at shrinking waterholes. Desperate for water and food, herds began to move in search of relief, their natural migration patterns thrown into chaos. These movements led to dense gatherings at the few remaining water sources, increasing the risk of disease and competition. Illnesses such as anthrax began to spread among weakened animals, further compounding the crisis. Perhaps the most tragic symbol of the drought was the sight of hippos, creatures utterly dependent on water, trapped and dying in the thick, drying mud, a stark reminder of the relentless struggle for survival in South Luangwa during the Great Drought. The devastating drought of 2023 to 2024 did not just parch the land and wither the rivers. It set in motion a silent crisis for South Luangwa's wildlife as the threat of poaching surged across the landscape. As the rivers shrank and the ground hardened, the natural barriers that once protected the animals vanished, leaving the wildlife exposed and vulnerable in the open plains. Along the well-worn animal paths, new dangers appeared: wire snares hidden in the dry grass, waiting for any unsuspecting creature to pass by. The impact was immediate and indiscriminate. Buffalo and impala, drawn to the last remaining waterholes, found themselves ensnared. Elephants, with their massive legs, became trapped, the wire biting deep into their flesh. For these giants, a single step could mean a tightening loop of pain, leading to wounds that festered and threatened their very survival. Many animals, unable to free themselves, suffered in silence, wounds growing infected, movement becoming agony, their struggle echoing through the bush. Predators, lured by the distress calls of trapped prey, sometimes became victims themselves. Lions and hyenas, investigating the cries, could find their own limbs caught in the same deadly traps. For the critically endangered African wild dogs, the loss of even one member to a snare could unravel the delicate balance of the entire pack, threatening their survival in the region. The park's iconic species, elephants, lions, wild dogs, bore the scars of this hidden war. Each injury, each loss, rippled through the ecosystem, altering the rhythms of predator and prey. As the drought deepened, the animals' movements changed. Herds grew smaller, more cautious. Predators prowled the shrinking waterholes, while the silence of the bush was broken by the occasional desperate cry of an animal caught in a snare. The ecosystem itself began to shift. With fewer grazers, the grasslands grew unchecked in some places, while in others, the absence of key predators upset the natural order, sending subtle tremors through the web of life. In this time of crisis, every animal's fate became intertwined with the invisible threat of poaching, their struggle for survival made even more desperate by the relentless drought and the silent snares hidden in the dust. Across the parched plains of South Luangwa, the animals faced a relentless, unforgiving battle for survival. The sun scorched the earth, baking the soil into a hard, cracked crust, and the once mighty rivers shrank to muddy trickles. Herds of elephants, their skin caked with dust, marched for miles in search of water, their trunks probing the dry riverbeds for any sign of moisture. The matriarchs led with unwavering determination, guiding the young and the old, their every step a testament to endurance. Lions, once rulers of a lush domain, now prowled the thinning grass, their golden coats blending with the brittle landscape. Hunger gnawed at their bellies, and the pride grew restless. They adapted, shifting their hunting grounds, learning to stalk weakened prey near the last remaining waterholes. Each hunt became a desperate gamble, a test of patience and cunning, as the antelope grew ever more wary, their senses sharpened by fear. Crocodiles stranded in shrinking pools turned on each other in brutal contests for space and survival. Hippos, their massive bodies ill-suited for the shallow, muddy remnants of their former homes, clustered together, their skin cracking in the relentless heat. The strongest pushed to the center, while the weak and the young were forced to the edges, exposed and vulnerable. The antelope, impala, kudu, and waterbuck moved in restless herds, their eyes wide and alert. They grazed on what little remained, stripping leaves from thorny bushes, digging at roots with desperate hooves. At night the air filled with the sounds of their unease, the constant vigilance against predators and the ever-present threat of thirst. In the trees, baboons and vervet monkeys scoured the branches for fruit, their calls echoing across the dry valley. They formed tight-knit groups, sharing what little they found, the bonds of family and troop growing stronger in adversity. Even the smallest creatures fought their own battles. Tortoises burrowed deep into the earth to escape the heat, while birds gathered at the last puddles, their wings shimmering in the haze as they competed for a sip of water. In one heart-wrenching scene, a pair of young elephants, lured by the promise of water, became trapped in the thick, clinging mud of a vanishing waterhole. Their trumpets of distress echoed across the plain, but with sheer determination they struggled together, using their trunks and sheer will to inch toward firmer ground. Their mother circled anxiously, her presence a beacon of hope and encouragement. Exhausted, caked in mud, the young elephants finally broke free, collapsing beside their mother, their sides heaving with relief. Against all odds, they had survived another day. Elsewhere, a lone elephant calf wandered the dust-choked landscape, its small frame dwarfed by the emptiness around it. Each step was a struggle, but the calf pressed on, driven by instinct and the faint hope of finding its herd. These moments of resilience, of animals refusing to give in, became the heartbeat of South Luangwa. Every sunrise brought new challenges, but also new displays of courage and adaptation. The wild dogs, masters of cooperation, tightened their bonds, hunting in perfect synchrony to bring down prey and share every hard-won meal. The leopards, solitary and secretive, shifted their territories, learning to move under cover of darkness to avoid the growing competition. Even the scavengers, hyenas and vultures, played their part, cleaning the land and ensuring that nothing went to waste in this time of scarcity. Through every hardship, the animals of South Luangwa displayed remarkable ingenuity. They dug for water, changed their diets, and formed new alliances, each adaptation a testament to the will to survive. The predators and prey, the strong and the weak, all played their roles in this intricate dance of survival, each day a new chapter in the ongoing saga of life and death. In the end, it was not just the fittest who survived, but those who could adapt, endure, and find hope in the harshest of times. The drought tested every creature, but it also revealed the extraordinary resilience woven into the fabric of South Luangwa's wild heart. And when the first drops of rain finally fell, the land and its animals, battered but unbroken, stood ready to begin anew. The battle for survival was never easy, but in every struggle, South Luangwa's wildlife proved that hope endures, even in the face of the deadliest drought. South Luangwa National Park, despite the immense challenges it has faced, stands as a radiant symbol of hope for Africa's wild heart. Here, the story of recovery unfolds each day. Herds of elephants, giraffes, and zebras gather at the riverbanks, a living testament to the resilience of nature and the power of untouched wilderness. Across vast, unfenced landscapes, animals roam freely, following ancient paths and rhythms that have shaped this ecosystem for millennia. The park's thriving populations of lions and leopards and its unique Thornycroft's giraffes embody a critical reservoir of life, each species a vital thread in the intricate tapestry of the wild. Even in the face of drought, when the earth cracks and the rivers run dry, the animals endure, adapting, surviving, and waiting for the rains to return. The land bears the scars of a changing climate, yet beneath storm-darkened skies, hope persists in every heartbeat of the wild. In the silence of the savannah, the resilience of the ecosystem shines, life finds a way, and the wilderness endures. With each sunrise, the Luangwa River glows with promise, and the gathering herds reflect the beauty and abundance that untouched nature can offer. The plains stretch endlessly, alive with the movement of animals, each one a testament to the enduring spirit of Africa's wilderness. Here, the balance of predator and prey, the dance of seasons, and the flourishing of flora and fauna reveal the profound beauty of a healthy, untouched ecosystem. Elephant families and lion prides move across the land, their presence a living legacy, symbols of hope for the future of all wild places. South Luangwa's survival is a beacon, illuminating the path toward recovery, resilience, and the enduring wonder of Africa's wildest places. In every animal's recovery, in every green shoot after the rains, the spirit of hope is reborn, reminding us that the beauty of untouched nature is both fragile and infinitely powerful. Amidst the vast plains and dense woodlands of South Luangwa, an invisible network connects every living creature, a complex food web that sustains the park's extraordinary diversity. Here, the rhythms of survival play out in a delicate balance, where every species, great and small, has a role to fill. In the cool shade of acacia trees, antelope graze cautiously, their senses attuned to the ever-present threat of predators. Lions and leopards, masters of stealth and power, stalk the herds, their survival intertwined with the abundance of prey. The drama of the hunt is swift and silent, each successful chase a testament to the skill and adaptability of the hunter and the resilience of the hunted. Yet, the story does not end with the predator's feast. hyenas and vultures gather, drawn by the promise of a meal. These scavengers, often misunderstood, are vital to the ecosystem, cleaning the land of remains, recycling nutrients, and preventing the spread of disease. Even the smallest creatures, from dung beetles to termites, play their part, breaking down waste and nourishing the soil for new life to flourish. Beneath the surface of the Luangwa River, another world thrives. Crocodiles lie in wait for unsuspecting prey, while fish and amphibians maintain the fragile aquatic balance. Along the water's edge, birds and mammals come to drink, their presence supporting countless insects and plants that depend on their movements. Every day, the web is tested by hunger, drought, and the ever-shifting tides of nature. When prey is plentiful, predator populations rise. When times are lean, the web stretches but rarely breaks. Each thread, from the mightiest elephant to the tiniest insect, is essential. Remove one, and the entire tapestry begins to unravel. In South Luangwa, the food web is a living testament to nature's wisdom, an endless dance of life, death, and renewal. It is here, in the intricate connections between predator and prey, scavenger and decomposer, that the true strength of the wilderness is revealed. The balance is fragile, yet endlessly resilient, a masterpiece crafted by evolution over countless generations. As the sun sets and the night awakens, the web of life continues, each creature playing its part in the eternal story of survival. In this harmony, the park's wild heart beats strong, a reminder that in nature everything is connected, and every life matters. As darkness falls over the South Luangwa Valley, a new cast of characters emerges from the shadows. The night belongs to the secretive and the silent, creatures whose lives unfold while the world sleeps. Under the silver glow of the moon, the bush comes alive with quiet rustlings, soft calls, and the glint of watchful eyes. In the thickets, genets slink between branches, their spotted coats blending seamlessly with the dappled moonlight. With nimble paws and keen senses, they hunt insects and small rodents, their movements graceful and unseen. Nearby, bush babies leap from tree to tree, their huge eyes perfectly adapted to capture every fragment of light. Their haunting calls echo across the valley, communicating with distant companions in the dark. On the ground, the aardvark begins its nightly quest, digging tirelessly for termites with powerful claws and an elongated snout. Its thick skin protects it from insect bites, while its solitary habits keep it safe from predators. Meanwhile, the fleet-footed civet prowls the undergrowth, searching for fallen fruit, eggs, and unsuspecting frogs. Its black and white stripes flicker briefly before vanishing into the night. Above, the silent flight of an owl cuts through the air. With exceptional hearing and feathers designed for stealth, it glides effortlessly, locking onto the faintest rustle below. Each successful swoop ensures the balance of small mammal populations, maintaining the delicate web of the valley. Even the smallest creatures have adapted to the darkness. Fireflies blink in intricate patterns, signaling to mates and confusing would-be predators. Bats dart overhead, navigating by echolocation as they feast on swarms of night-flying insects, playing a vital role in pest control and pollination. The night is not without its dangers. Predators like the elusive leopard move with calculated precision, their rosetted coats invisible in the moonlit thickets. They stalk bushbuck and hares, using patience and silence as their greatest weapons. Yet every creature, prey and predator alike, has evolved to thrive in these nightly hours, each with unique adaptations to the darkness. As dawn approaches, the nocturnal world retreats, leaving behind only footprints, scattered feathers, and the faintest whisper of movement in the grass. The secret lives of these night-dwellers remain mostly hidden, a mysterious and essential part of the valley's eternal cycle. In the shadows of the night, the wilderness reveals a different face, one of quiet ingenuity, remarkable resilience, and endless adaptation. Here, in the embrace of darkness, life continues its ancient dance, unseen but never silent. Beneath the towering trees and sweeping grasses of the South Luangwa Valley, a hidden world pulses with life. Here, the smallest inhabitants, often overlooked, play roles of staggering importance. Insects and tiny creatures, numbering in the millions, are the unseen architects and caretakers of this ecosystem. As dawn breaks, armies of termites stir within their intricate mud towers. These master builders tirelessly recycle dead wood and plant matter, transforming decay into fertile soil. Their tunnels aerate the earth, allowing roots to breathe and water to flow, sustaining the very foundation of the valley's flora. Nearby, dung beetles emerge, rolling their precious cargo across the savanna. What appears as a simple task is, in truth, a vital service. By burying and consuming animal waste, these beetles help fertilize the soil and control parasites, keeping the land healthy for all. Ants form bustling superhighways, each colony a model of cooperation and efficiency. Some tend to aphids for sweet nectar, while others defend their territory with remarkable precision. Leafcutter ants, in particular, gather foliage, not for food, but to cultivate underground fungus farms, their primary source of nourishment. Among the leaf litter, millipedes and earthworms quietly break down organic matter, enriching the ground and promoting new growth. Their ceaseless work ensures that nutrients cycle back into the ecosystem, feeding generations of plants and, by extension, every creature that depends on them. Pollinators, like bees, butterflies, and moths, flutter from blossom to blossom, spreading life with every landing. Without their tireless efforts, many plants would never bear fruit, and the web of life would unravel. Even the tiniest beetles and flies contribute, each with a specific flower or fruit that relies on their visit. Spiders weave delicate webs between branches and grasses, trapping swarms of insects. Their silent hunt keeps populations in check, preventing outbreaks that could devastate crops and foliage. Meanwhile, tiny frogs and lizards patrol the undergrowth, feasting on ants, termites, and beetles, maintaining a delicate balance. Every day, these unsung heroes labor in silence, their collective actions shaping the landscape and sustaining the rich diversity of life. In the grand tapestry of the valley, it is the smallest threads that hold everything together. Without them, the mighty elephants, graceful antelope, and cunning predators would struggle to survive. The story of the South Luangwa Valley is not just one of giants, but of countless miniature miracles unfolding every moment, an endless testament to the power of the small. As the seasons shift and the sun carves new patterns across the South Luangwa Valley, ancient instincts awaken within its wild inhabitants. The call of migration, a journey as old as time itself, echoes across the landscape, stirring herds and flocks to move in search of sustenance and safety. With the first whispers of the dry season, vast herds of impala, zebra, and buffalo gather at the valley's edge. Waterholes begin to shrink, grass turns brittle beneath their hooves, and the promise of greener pastures beckons from distant horizons. The journey ahead is fraught with peril. Treacherous river crossings, lurking predators, and the relentless heat of the African sun. Elephants, the valley's gentle giants, lead their families along memory's ancient trails. Matriarchs guide their young, recalling hidden springs and shaded groves passed down through generations. Calves stumble and sway, learning each step from their elders, their trunks entwined in reassurance and hope. Above, clouds of crowned cranes and storks ride the winds, their wings carrying them to seasonal wetlands. Each stop along their route is vital, a chance to rest, feed, and gather strength for the miles ahead. For some, the journey is a test of endurance. For others, it is a rite of passage into adulthood. Crocodiles lie in wait at the riverbanks, patient and silent, knowing that migrations bring opportunity. The crossings are moments of chaos and courage, a thundering blur of hooves, splashes, and desperate leaps for survival. Many make it across, some do not, Yet each life lost sustains another, weaving the eternal cycle of the wild. As the rains finally return, the valley is transformed. Parched earth gives way to emerald grass, and the rivers swell with new life. The herds arrive, weary but triumphant. Newborn calves totter on unsteady legs, and the air fills with the noise of reunion and renewal. Predators, too, thrive, their cubs and pups venturing out to greet a world bursting with abundance. These migrations are more than mere movement. They are the heartbeat of the South Luangwa, stitching together the land, its animals, and the promise of tomorrow. Driven by hunger and hope, by memory and instinct, the creatures of the valley endure, adapt, and flourish. Their journeys are a testament to resilience and to the enduring spirit of life that pulses through Africa's wild heart. Beneath the grandeur of thundering herds and soaring birds lies a quieter drama, one written in roots, leaves, and petals. The plant life of South Luangwa is a tapestry of resilience, diversity, and ingenious adaptation, shaping every facet of life in the valley. Here, ancient ebony trees stand as silent sentinels, their broad canopies casting welcome shade over the parched earth. Their roots burrow deep, tapping hidden reserves of water, ensuring survival through the harshest droughts. Along the riverbanks, towering sausage trees unfurl their massive pendulous blossoms at dusk, luring bats and insects with sweet nectar and a heady fragrance that fills the night air. As the rains return, the valley erupts in a riot of colour. Wildflowers, scarlet fireballs, delicate lilies, and golden sunflowers carpet the plains, signalling the renewal of life. Each species follows a precise cycle, bursting into bloom just as migrating insects and birds arrive, forming a web of mutual dependence. Acacias, with their feathery leaves and formidable thorns, provide shelter and sustenance for giraffes and elephants. Their seeds, encased in tough pods, pass safely through digestive tracts, ensuring new growth far from the parent tree. Mopan woodlands shimmer with butterfly-shaped leaves, which fold shut in the midday heat to conserve precious moisture. When the first rains fall, the mopan's fresh shoots become a feast for hungry antelope. Even in the driest months, hardy succulents and baobabs endure, swelling with stored water and offering refuge for nesting birds and insects. Fallen fruits and seeds feed countless creatures, while flowers draw pollinators from miles around. In turn, these pollinators ensure the valley's flora endures, season after season. The plants of South Luangwa are more than background. They are the foundation of the ecosystem, sustaining every creature, great and small. Through fire, flood, and drought, they adapt, endure, and flourish, silently shaping the destiny of the wild.